Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Today I've got this adorable "You Soar Above the Rest" congratulations card. I'm thinking it's graduation season. It's time for some congratulations cards, and I think this one fits the bill. So this is the card for Coffee and a Card tomorrow at my Rolling Meadows home studio. If you're an adult crafter living in the Chicago area and you want to know more about Coffee and a Card, check out KitchenTableStamper.com/calendar or email Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Coffee and a Card is every other Wednesday from 10 a.m. to noon, and all adult crafters are welcome. So reach out if you've got questions about that. All right, so let's get on to the card tutorial. Let me show you the Stampin' Up! Supplies that you need to make this card. If you haven't noticed, there's some new in colors here. In fact, all of them. And that's what I love so much about this card. This card is for me to remind my current customers that there are awesome products that are retiring, like the Up Away Framelits Dies and the Lift Me Up stamp set. There are awesome products that are carrying over, like the subtle embossing folder, the pretty label punch, the 1 3/8 inch scallop punch, the tailored tag punch, and the braided linen trim. All things that are available to order right now while we wait for the new catalog, which is going live on June 4th. Catalogs will be available for my Chicago area kitchen table stamper customers starting May 24th with Bingo. We've still got 2 spots left in Bingo. If you are interested, reach out to me right away with your $30 payment. And I've married these current and retiring products with the brand new 2019-2021 in color palette. So let me show you that. Here is the Pretty Peacock Stampin' Pad. Got a piece of Rococo Rose cardstock here. We're gonna cut that Rococo Rose into pieces for the balloon. This was the terracotta tile pieces, Seaside Spray, Pretty Peacock, and here is the Purple Posy. So these are your new in colors, Stampin' Up! Fans. What do you think? We're gonna marry them all together on this card. Let's take a quick peek at the designer series paper we're gonna use, and then we're gonna get crafting. This is the 6x6 2019-2021 designer series paper stack. There's Seaside Spray and the back pattern, and Purple Posy. There's the flip side. Purple Posy is hard to see, isn't it? It's such a soft pastel. Here's Pretty Peacock. Let's look at the back side of those patterns. Rococo Rose. And the back side of those. And then this one is terracotta tile. All right, so that's the designer series paper in the new in colors coming June 4th. Let's get started here with some die cutting. I want to, how about the contents of the kit? This is what you'll need, consumables. I've got a Pretty Peacock 1 3/8 inch circle punch. I've got 2 vellum cardstock pretty label punches. I've got a 3 by 3 3/4 Whisper White. I've got a pretty label from Whisper White. About 7.5 inches of that braided linen trim. Card base is Seaside Spray, 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. I've also got my designer series paper here. This is 2 by 5 1/4. This one is 1 by 5. All those measurements are on the project sheet, so you don't have to scribble them down. I also started out with 5 pieces just like this. And this is Rococo Rose, and you need about 4.5 by 2 3/4. And you need 1 of each: Rococo Rose, Seaside Spray, Pretty Peacock, Purple Posy, terracotta tile. I'll get faster at that. Got a little scrap of Sahara sand, and we're going to use that to cut the basket. All right, let's move these guys aside. grab our Big Shot and do some die cutting. Now here's a little tip. We're going to cut each of the balloons, all 5 segments. There's 5 segments, there's 5 in colors, and we're gonna cut them all at one time. So we'll actually yield the parts for 5 balloons, which is really great. Graduation season, you might need more than 1 card. You can also switch up the greetings from this awesome set. A bunch of the greetings fit in the pretty label punch. We'll talk about that when I'm done die cutting and we're doing our sentiment. So you can make 5 of these cards all at one time. And you know me, I love to die cut all of my pieces at one time. It's a little scrap of Sahara sand. We're gonna pop that down in the bottom. And now we're also going to, while we're at it, take our detail balloon and our Whisper White, and we're gonna pop that little dude in here too. We're gonna cut them all at one time. So you can do 5 cards, all the die cutting with 5 passes of the machine this way. All right, so there's my pieces. Because of how detailed that balloon is, that one that we're doing in Whisper White, we're gonna carefully go forward and then back again. Because of the other dies in there, the pressure is distributed a little bit different. And before we go too far, we're gonna just check and make sure that we got good complete cutting. It looks like we did. So there's our detail dude. Get these guys out. And now let me show you what I'm talking about here. So I did the same exact thing with the other 4 in colors before you joined me. We're going to just pop these out, and then we can assort our pieces so that we've got 5 balloons. We'll start our Rococo Rose on the top. Take a Seaside Spray piece. We'll take the next one, Pretty Peacock. 4th one in Terracotta Tile. And the 5th one in the Purple Posy. Now, do that 4 more times with the remaining pieces, and you'll have your 5 balloons. I'm gonna slide these to the side. I'll do the other 4 later. It's a good card to make if you sell cards at craft fairs too, because you can make 5 cards, and they're very detailed, beautiful cards in 5 passes on the Big Shot, which is really nice. Look at that, it just fell right out of the die. I'm gonna go ahead and run my die brush over, get all those little intricate bits out of there. And then if there's anywhere that needs a little coaxing, we'll get our take your pick tool. Pop those out. Right in the center there needed a little help because we're cutting all of those pieces at one time, but not bad at all. Totally worth it for such a detailed, intricate card. 5 of them with just 5 passes through the Big Shot. Love that. Hang with me. It's my favorite trick. How much die cutting can I do in 1 pass? So there's our beautiful detailed balloon. And look, 99% of the mess still in that foam mat. Just tap it off into the trash bin. Really helps keep the mess under control. All right. I'm going to assemble my little balloon with multi-purpose liquid glue. And what I like to do here is run just the tiniest little bead, and truly I'm got hardly any pressure on the glue bottle, and I'm using the tip of the glue to spread out the bead. Thinner is better. We don't want anything left to squish out the front of our balloon. And I'm going all of the main kind of more thick areas of the balloon, the less detailed fussy cuts. All right, now I'm gonna lay down each of my little pieces like a puzzle here, making sure that you can't see any space from the outside or from the front. See, I'll check the front as I go along and make sure that each color is in its little segment. It's that simple. How cute. All right, and then same thing with the basket piece. Just right around the edge. Streak the littlest bit of glue. Less is so more for this. All right, and we'll pop a bit of Sahara sand. Love it. Before we even move on, we're gonna add some dimensionals to the back of this for later. All right, set it aside. Let's grab our Big Shot one more time and let's do some embossing this time. Got my Big Shot with the platform only and my subtle embossing folder. Put in my card front in the folder. And a nice straight subtle pattern. So watch the edge of your card. And you can pop the back of the card through the machine. Lay one of the cutting pads over the top and give it a crank. And out comes the prettiest textured cardstock you've ever seen. Got my bone folder and I'm just gonna gently work that score. Sample back in here again so you can see what's going on. Designer series paper, and for me, always a tailor tag punch. I love this little dude for dovetails. We're just gonna take off the edge. And sometimes I don't get it perfect, but it's so easy to go right back in there and fix it up. For the script paper, be very sure that you've got the script going in the right direction. Dovetail the end. Let's consolidate some layers here. Gonna add the script. What is that? Maybe 3/8 to 1/2 inch from the right edge. Gonna add the terracotta tile over the top of that. Make sure it's straight before you burnish it down. Don't always judge that so well from sitting down. Trim off the excess from the top if there is any. Depends on how high you cut when you did the dovetail. Next up, we're going to add our little vellum clouds, and what we want to do is add some dry adhesive to the edge of the cloud that's going to be covered by the balloon. The cloud goes way up here in the upper left-hand corner, and then we want some on the inside here, about middle of the card all the way to the right edge. Now our sentiment, let's get some pretty peacock ink here. And I've got my "You Soar Above the Rest. Congratulations" greeting. We're going to stamp that just low of center. Love the pretty peacock ink. What a beautiful greeting. Now, in this Lift Me Up stamp set, since you'll have enough balloon pieces for 5 cards, it's nice to know that just a note to lift your spirits, sending smiles across the miles, you soar above the rest, congratulations, all fit in that pretty label. And of course, thanks for lifting me up, or love is in the air. These smaller little greetings could be just fine in that pretty label cloud also. Now I've got my 1 3/8 inch scallop from Pretty Peacock, and I'm going to cut that in half, and we're going to stretch it by cutting it in half. We can get a little bit longer, almost like if it were a scalloped oval. So we just line up our scallops so they're nice and even. Okay, there it is. Then a 1/8 inch circle punch. I'm gonna punch about 1/4 inch down, centered, make it into a tag. About 7.5 inches of this braided linen trim. We're going to tie. I don't always tie like an anchor knot first. If you follow me, you know that that can be pretty bulky sometimes. But I wanted this little like over the top look. So we're gonna tie a knot and then a bow. Okay, you got a bow that you love. Trim off the excess. Tidy up the tails. Now let's finish up this card, shall we? Okay, dimensionals are all sticky. Going to add some dry adhesive to our little cloud label sentiment. I'm gonna adhere it far to the left-hand side, almost to the fold. Make sure that the little dovetail peeps out completely. Add our little balloon so that it's over all 3 clouds, hides all the adhesive on the vellum. There it is. You soar above the rest. Congratulations. All right, you guys, I hope that I'll see you at Coffee and a Card on Wednesday morning. If you got any questions about Chicago area events, about Stampin' Up, the retirement list, placing orders, joining the kitchenettes, if there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty, email me, Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. Thanks for watching.